All right, so let's dive into this Edmonton real estate market. You want to know what's up right now?
All right.
And we've got the latest data
We-
from the Realtors Association of Edmonton. It's
Right.
from October 2024.
All right.
And let me tell you,
Mm.
the numbers are, they're
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Really interesting stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing that really jumps out is just the sheer volume of sales.
Okay.
We saw a year-over-year increase of 35.1% for total residential sales.
Wow.
Yeah, in October 2024.
Okay.
So that's a huge jump.
Huge.
And it translates to 1,749 homes sold in a single month.
Wow. So almost 1,800 families
Yeah,
found new homes last month in Edmonton.
just in October, yeah.
That's incredible.
It is.
And what's really catching my eye here is the row housing sales.
Oh, yeah.
They're just going crazy.
They're flying off the shelves.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, it's like a big game of musical chairs, but not enough chairs for everyone.
Oh,
That's kind of what we're
hell.
seeing in Edmonton. So even though new listings did go up year over year,
Yeah.
they just couldn't keep up with all this buying.
Right.
So we're actually seeing a 24% drop in overall inventory
Oh, wow.
compared to October of 2023.
Okay, so more people are selling their homes,
Yeah,
but even more people want to buy them.
exactly.
Yeah, so what does that mean for somebody
Right.
who's actually trying to buy a home right now in Edmonton?
So if you're looking to buy in Edmonton right now,
Hmm.
you're basically competing with a whole bunch of other eager buyers
Mm.
for like a very limited pool of homes.
Yeah.
And so this creates what we call a really tight market,
Okay.
where buyers often have to move really quickly
Wow.
and decisively.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So high demand, low supply.
Mhm.
What does that do to prices?
Well, you can imagine it puts a lot of upward pressure on prices.
Okay.
The average residential price in Edmonton hit $419,165 in October 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a jump of 10.7% compared to the year before.
Huge.
Yeah. And what's even more interesting is that this price growth, it's not happening the same way
Yeah.
across all types of housing.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The report actually shows that detached and row houses
Hmm.
saw the biggest price increases,
Yeah.
both at 15%.
Yeah, 15% year over year.
Wow.
Yeah. But apartments, on the other hand,
Yeah.
they stayed pretty stable.
Why do you think that is?
Well, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Maybe apartment buyers are just a bit more price sensitive,
Okay.
or maybe there's just more apartments available
Right.
compared to the demand.
Makes sense.
It's also possible that people looking for detached and row houses
Yeah.
are just willing to pay a little more
Okay.
to get more space, especially in such a competitive market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to find a deal,
Mm-hmm.
apartments might be the way to go.
Could be.
But if you really want that detached or that row house,
Yeah.
be prepared to maybe shell out a little bit more.
Yeah. Potentially dig a little deeper into those pockets. Yeah. And, this actually leads us to a very important metric
Okay.
called month of supply.
Okay.
Essentially, this tells us how long it would take to sell every single listing
Mm-hmm.
at the current pace of sales.
Oh, okay. So if it takes longer to sell all the homes,
Yeah.
that probably means it's not as competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a balanced market, you'd usually see about 6 months of supply.
Okay.
But right now in Edmonton, guess what?
What?
We're down to just 1.9 months.
1.9. So less than 2 months?
Yes, less than 2 months.
Wow. That really shows you just how fast homes are selling
Yeah.
in Edmonton.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Imagine if every house for sale in Edmonton
Yeah.
just vanished
Poof.
in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
That's how quickly they're going.
It's incredible.
This is definitely some good info for our listener who's trying to understand this market.
Absolutely.
And I think we should unpack some of these trends a little
Okay.
bit further.
That's good. Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, so let's actually look at this chart
Okay.
from the Realtors Association of Edmonton report.
Okay.
They call it residential sales by price range,
Mm-hmm.
and it really helps you visualize some of these trends we're talking about.
Yeah, it's amazing how when you can actually see it,
Right.
it really brings it to life.
It does. Yeah.
So what really pops out at you when you look at this chart?
Well, I mean, the first thing that jumps out
Yeah.
is this massive spike in sales in the $400,000 to $499,999 price range in 2024
Okay.
compared to 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, that bar on the chart is through the roof.
Yeah, it's like that price range just became
Right.
like the place to be.
Yeah, it's the hot ticket.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, it goes back to what we were saying about the row housing,
Right.
the price increases.
Right.
It seems like a lot of buyers are finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
in terms of the price.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting more bang for their buck. compared to a detached house.
So more space,
Yeah,
potentially some
potential.
more features. Yeah.
All while staying, within a certain budget.
Yeah. It's that balance between what you want
Right.
and what you can afford.
Exactly.
Yeah. This begs the question, though.
Yeah.
What is driving all this activity
Yeah.
in the Edmonton market?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Why is Edmonton suddenly the place to be?
Yeah.
I mean, there's rarely one single reason
Right.
why a real estate market takes off.
Right.
It's usually a few different things working together.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
What are some of the factors that could be driving all this demand?
Well, one possibility is just that Edmonton's economy
Okay.
is doing really well.
Yeah.
If there's lots of jobs,
Right.
new businesses opening up,
Yeah.
it's natural for people to want to move there.
Yeah.
And that can lead to more demand for housing.
So a strong economy kind of lifts all boats.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
A ripple effect.
What else?
Well, infrastructure improvements
Okay.
can also be a big factor.
Okay.
So think about new transportation links, better parks and rec facilities,
Yeah.
even development of vibrant cultural hubs.
Okay. Yeah.
All those kinds of things make a city
Yeah.
more attractive to live in.
Right.
And that can lead to more people wanting to live there.
Right. More demand for housing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
It is.
You improve the quality of life, and suddenly everybody wants a piece.
Yeah. Everyone wants an E.
Yeah. What about lifestyle?
Oh, yeah. Lifestyle, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Edmonton might be getting a reputation
Yeah.
as a city that really offers the best of both worlds.
Okay.
You've got the urban amenities, but you're also close to nature.
Yeah.
Maybe people are attracted to, the family-friendly vibe
Okay.
or the diverse culture
Right.
or even just being close to those beautiful landscapes.
Yeah.
All those things contribute to, how much people want to live somewhere.
Yeah. It's not just the bricks and mortar.
Right.
It's the whole experience.
Yeah, the whole package.
So there's this whole ecosystem of factors.
Happening. And, for our listener who's really trying to understand this market,
Right.
it's important to remember that real estate is often a reflection
Okay.
of what's happening in a city.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So these real estate trends are kind of like a sign of
Yeah.
bigger things happening in Edmonton.
Potentially, yeah.
Like economically, socially, it's like the housing market is a barometer for the city.
It is, yeah.
And that actually brings us to a really interesting question.
Okay, shoot.
Is this growth sustainable?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What are the long-term implications
Yeah.
of this hot market?
Right. Because what goes up
Yeah.
must come down.
Well, not always in real estate,
Okay.
but it's definitely important to consider both the potential benefits
Yeah.
and the challenges.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges
Okay.
that our listeners should be thinking about?
Well, one big concern is affordability.
Okay.
If prices keep rising so fast,
Yeah.
it's going to be harder and harder for people, especially first-time buyers,
Right.
to enter the market.
It's like that catch-22.
Right.
You need a good job to buy a house.
Yeah.
But you need to live in the city to get that job.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And that can create a real problem
Yeah.
where people get priced out
Yeah.
of the market they're trying to be a part of.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
What other challenges could we see? So affordability is a big one.
Yeah.
Are there any other potential downsides?
Well, another challenge could be overdevelopment.
Oh, okay.
If the city grows too quickly,
Yeah.
it can put a strain on infrastructure and resources.
Okay.
Think about things like traffic,
Mm.
overcrowded schools,
Mm.
even just the availability of green space.
Yeah.
All those can be affected by rapid growth.
So finding that balance between progress and preservation
Yeah,
becomes really crucial.
it is.
Yeah, it's about making sure that the city can handle all this growth without, losing the things that make it so great in the first place.
Absolutely. You want to maintain what makes it special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the demand side,
Right. The people coming in.
people moving to Edmonton.
Mm.
What about the supply side?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Like the land.
Yeah. The land availability.
Construction. How does that play into all of this?
Well, if there are restrictions on the land
Yeah.
or if construction can't keep up with demand,
Right.
then it just makes those affordability challenges even worse.
Okay.
It's all about
Right.
that balance.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. Exactly.
So there's a lot going on here.
There is. It's coming.
What does all this mean for our listener?
Well, I think the first takeaway is that
Yeah.
the Edmonton real estate market is incredibly dynamic right now.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
It is. We're seeing that strong demand,
Yeah.
limited supply,
Yeah.
and prices are going up,
Mm-hmm.
especially for detached and row houses.
Definitely a seller's market.
It is.
But for buyers,
Yeah.
they gotta be ready to move quick
They do.
and maybe compete with other offers.
Absolutely be prepared.
The second takeaway, I think, is that all this activity in the real estate market,
Yeah.
it's probably a sign of bigger changes happening in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like we talked about job growth,
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure improvements,
Yeah.
lifestyle
All
factors.
things are contributing.
So basically, understanding the real estate market
Mm.
can actually give you insight into the whole city.
I think so. Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is.
And the third takeaway,
Yeah.
it's important to be aware of the good and the bad
Right.
that come with a hot market.
Exactly.
So yeah, rising prices might be good for sellers,
Yeah.
good for the economy. Mm-hmm.
But they can also create those affordability problems.
Right.
And put a strain on things like infrastructure.
Yeah. You got to weigh those pros and cons,
Exactly.
make informed decisions.
So it sounds like we've covered a lot today.
We have.
From, the sales trends and the prices
Mhm.
to like the bigger picture of what's happening.
Yeah, the economics, the social trends,
How to do
it's
it.
all connected.
And hopefully our
Yeah.
listener now has all the knowledge
Mhm.
to make smart choices
Right.
about real estate in Edmonton.
Absolutely, whether they're buying or selling or
Yeah.
just trying to understand what's going on.
Okay, so as we wrap this up,
Yeah,
I've got one final thought for our listener.
I'm listening.
We talked about how the real estate market
Mm,
reflects the health of the city.
right, like a barometer.
But what about the other way around?
Oh, interesting.
How does the real estate market actually shape the city?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it deserves more thought. Yeah.
Because how we live
Hmm?
and work
Mhm.
and interact in our cities
Yeah.
is really tied to real estate.
It's like they both affect each other.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
So to our listener out there,
Yeah.
keep exploring.
Stay curious.
Remember that real estate is full of surprises
It is.
and possibilities.
Absolutely.
And hey, maybe this deep dive
Mhm.
sparked a new interest in urban planning.
Or economics.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
As we dive into another topic
Yeah.
that matters to you.